Was reliving some of your glory days, my young fandom glory days last night. I was watching Jason Kidd highlights when he was on the Knicks at 39. I forgot how good he was on that team, and he all of a sudden became a three-point shooter. What did you learn from Jay Kidd in those years?
Jay Kidd was one of those guys where he would see stuff on the court and he would tell me, and and I would just execute it, and I'd be like, "Wow, how did you see that?" And then he'll explain to me what he was reading, what he was looking at. So he taught me a lot, and the guy that I looked up to come in and say, "Look, you the point guard. I'm gonna play the two." That was so man, that gave me so much confidence, gave me so much dang, like Jason Kidd believe in me. You know what I'm saying? So that gave me the utmost confidence like that. So, he would help me out a lot, man. We would be in practice. He would, help me with reads and stuff off pick and rolls and reads off, the offense we was running. So for me, man, it was one of the most amazing years that I've had in my career, just being with a guy like that to really teach me and walk me through a lot of stuff, and a guy that I really looked up to and admired as a point guard, as a player. So it was fun. It was fun, man, and just see some of the stuff he was doing as he got older, shooting those threes like that, man. That was amazing too.
And he was never a three-point shooter, so that's what makes it the funniest part with his headband. What a great time! What a great time! And Ray, I'm a New Yorker. I gotta admit, man, your New York Knicks teams I grew up on with you at the one, Melo, Amari Stoudemire. Those are great memories for me as a kid. I always say that New York City is rocking and the best it could be when the Knicks are good. You agree with that?
I totally agree. Totally agree. It was some fun times for me, man. It was probably some of the best times of my career in the NBA, being in New York during that time and winning. Because when you win in New York, is nothing like it. It's nothing like it. So we was winning at a very high level. We was one of the top teams, one of the most talked about teams in the NBA during that time. When I was in New York. So it was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun.
A career high 17 points per game and 9 assists per game in 54 games for that first year in New York. Then you're traded to Denver in the Carmelo Anthony deal. Were you bummed out after kind of getting your feet set, playing your best basketball in New York, and then you get back 2 years later? Go through all of that for me.
It was surprising and it was upsetting a little bit because I wasn't even supposed to be in the trade. And I think for what I heard, George Karl put me into the trade the last minute. He said that he wanted me, and that's the only way they was gonna do the deal with Carmelo, and that's what happened. At least that's what I heard, and that's what happened. So it was just like, well, dang, it sucked. I ended up coming back, but it still sucked at that moment because, like you said, I was playing my best basketball, and we was good. We was rocking. We still was like a top five, top six team in the East during that time. Obviously adding Carmelo would have been, oof, that would have been a whole lot more. We probably did some very special things with all the young guys that we had. We had some young, good guys: Gallo, Wilson Chandler, you know, Landry Fields, Timothy Moscow. Like we had some very talented guys at that time to do some special things. But you know, when you get somebody at that talent, you got to give up a lot of stuff. So everything was taken away. It was all good. Me and Amari talk about it sometimes. Melo was gonna come anyway. You know, we felt like that next year. We knew he was coming, but it was still nerve wracking for the people in the front office because they're like, "Oh, we don't know. We can't miss up on this opportunity. We got to move on it now." So being older now, being older later on, like me understanding the business side of it, I get it. You don't want to lose a caliber guy like Melo, so you try to jump on that opportunity when it was presented. So, the Knicks did that, and that's what happened. So, you gotta deal with it.
Well, it's all a business, like you were saying. And, you do get back a couple years later, 2012, 2013. That squad was crazy, crazy deep. Yourself, Melo, Amari, Tyson Chandler dropping 20 rebounds like it's nothing. Jason Kidd, Steve Novak, JR, Shumpert, Rashid. I mean, the list goes on and on. You guys finished 54-28 that year, number 2 behind Miami. You guys take out Boston, and then that series against Indiana. What happened? Was it a bad matchup?
I wouldn't that it was a bad matchup. It was just we couldn't get no wins in their building, you know, and we had a lot of injuries at that time too. Melo's shoulder was messed up, JR back. So guys wasn't 100% from from that Boston series, from just the season that we had. Guys being banged up. J Kidd wasn't 100%. So you going against a team that's really good defensively. They was very physical defensively, and when you're going against a team like that, it's kind of it's hard when guys are not 100%. Guys are not healthy, so it was tough, man, and it was a tough matchup. We played small with Melo at the 4, which was which would work for us all year. But then you playing in a 7-game series against, Indiana Pacers, and they got what's big boy name, seven
Hibbert.
footer.
Hibbert.
You got Big Bird, and then you got David West, who was a abuser, 6'9", strong, just a big body down there that could score, rebound, could do a lot of stuff. So they had a physical team, man, and kind of beat us up a little bit. In that first game, they was able to steal it, and we just come bounce back from that because they won at home, we won at home, they won at home, we won at home. And that last game, that game 6, we couldn't get that win. We was close, couldn't get that win to come back to the Garden to beat them because I feel like, and some other people may be like, oh yeah, or whatever, but I feel like we probably had the best chance to beat Miami that year because we beat them 3 games out of 4 that season. You know
Yep.
what I'm saying? We was 3-1 with them during the season. They didn't want to see us. I believe that they didn't want to see our team, but can't speak on that. That didn't happen. So
That squad was just too deep. The difference with Miami would have been the bench scoring for sure because the Knicks. I mean, that second unit was incredible.
yeah,
Carmelo Anthony today, not in the NBA. Does he deserve to be?
no question. I think he still can help somebody. He's still a guy that can score the ball, put that ball in the basket. You always need a guy that can hit big shots. That's not afraid to hit big shots. And just can play. He can play the game. So I think he can definitely help one of these playoff teams. Hopefully he'll get picked up here in the second half of the season. Once trades and stuff start happening, hopefully somebody will pick him up going into the second half of the season, going into the playoffs. So because he definitely can help someone for sure.